Hey, Davis Monthan, this is Colonel Mike Drowley, 355th Wing Commander, and I'm here to give you your 26 March afternoon update. I do have some news. Today we identified one positive case on Davis Monthan Air Force Base for the installation. It was associated with the 309th Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group, commonly known as the Boneyard. The individual's last day at work was 19 March before he started seeking some medical treatment. So we are doing some of the background check to see places where that may have been visited, personnel that may have been in contact, so that way we can reduce as much risk as possible associated with that. So the team is working through it, and we'll continue to keep everybody posted as we get more information. I know in social media there's been a lot of questions on how many tests the base has performed, or how can we say 0 reported, now 1 reported, with so few tests being accomplished. As an installation, in between us and downtown, there's been about 30 to 40 tests performed at this point. They're still a very precious resource, which is why the screening procedures are so important to determine who may need a test with some of the risk factors that are out there. And it's also why it's so critical that everybody perform social distancing, the to and from work criteria that we've talked about recently. That's why we're putting such an emphasis on that, because that's going to be the thing that mitigates the most risk as we move forward. You heard from Chief Lyda this morning that we are now in health protection condition Charlie, and some of the things associated with that. The thing I want to bring up is with that we've made a few additional changes to our local procedures. So we've redefined the local area to mean pretty much to and from work to try and reduce travel outside the area or to other places where there may be more cases of COVID-19. We've tried to preserve some things that contribute to mission readiness and quality of life, like gym access. And Chief Lyda, I think, very appropriately hit, we've got to take care of that, and we've got to keep the equipment clean and wipe it down, or else we're going to lose that pretty rapidly. And we talked about some relaxed grooming standards, primarily hair. My rescue group's a little upset that that doesn't include beards, but we're not to that point yet. And so those are some of the decisions that we're getting the information out on. I'll tell you, I'm still very concerned about the Child Care Development Center and some of the youth programs that we have. We're still not opening that program back up until we get test results back. But I'm telling everybody right now, that's not an area that I accept risk lightly. And so we're going to put a lot of thought into that and make sure that it is a good, prudent decision before we move forward. I would like to provide a little bit of feedback, and I'm going to speak very directly here. I got a chance to go around to the commissary and some of our other service places, and I did receive feedback that there's been frustration, primarily with the workers there, some of the people that are trying to help us get after some of the things that we need to do. And I want to tell everybody, they're not the right people to be frustrated at. These decisions are not easy decisions, and they're my decisions. So if you don't like the hours that we're doing at the commissary, I'm sorry. You know, we're trying to do everything that we can to take care of the entire team, but it's not their fault. They're trying to implement some of the things that we're trying to put in place as best they can, and those are decisions that are my responsibility. So please don't get frustrated with them. Don't get frustrated with the FSS team. We're all trying to work this as best we can, and we really are trying to take care of everybody. So please keep that in mind. I know it's tough times, but together, again, we're all going to have to sacrifice, and we'll make it through it okay. I want to say there's probably going to be further changes that come down as well. The positive case that we had today is more than likely not going to be the only positive case that we have. And as we see incidents go up, possibly in Pima County and other places, we're going to have to change our posture and further try and reduce that COVID mitigation or that risk even more so. So we may see more adjustments to facilities being open or closed, or just who needs to come into work and be exposing themselves to a possible transmission and those kinds of things. So please stick with us. We'll try and over communicate those as they come along and try and keep the whole team appraised as we make those decisions and really explain why we're making them. I would like to introduce today, we have a celebrity guest with us. So I know Chief Lyda has been calling in the big guns with some celebrity guests. And so today I have with me Colonel Pat Parsons, the medical group commander. I commonly refer to him as P squared, and so you may hear me refer to him a couple times throughout the conversation as P squared. P squared, there's a lot going on in the base right now, COVID, HPCON, Charlie. So first off, I want to get to the question that I know is on everybody's mind. How much do you bench press?
Well, sir, yesterday was 405.
Okay.
But today I maxed out about 425.
Okay. So
One-handed, sir.
All right. Very good. My math there was wrong. to set the conversation here, I do want to go through a little bit of math with you, and I heard this yesterday, and I want to see if it checks with what you've gotten through the medical channels. The transmission rate for the flu is about 1.3 cases per a person with the flu. So if a person has the flu, they can transmit it to about 1.3 when you look at the average.
On average, yes, sir.
Yeah, so as you do that for a factor of 10, so 10 times that transmission rate occurs, at the end of the day, that one person with the flu could have potentially infected or transmitted to 13 to 14 people. Is that about
on
right?
average, yes, sir.
COVID is a 3-person ratio. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Depending on the study, 2.5 to 3.
So if you take that one person that could possibly transmit it to 3 potentially, and you do that same factor of 10 with flu, it was 13 to 14 people. With COVID, you're looking at 59,000 people. Is that right?
Give or take.
Yeah, I was mind blown by that. So because of that, that's why we have such an emphasis right now on the procedures that we're doing and everything that we're trying to do to mitigate it. When you look at a base like Davis-Monthan, we have 45,000 people on the installation at any given time, right? So we just made the change to Health Protection Condition Charlie. Can you tell me what that means and
Yes,
what
sir.
that means for the team at large?
Absolutely, and thank you for having me, sir.
Yeah.
So Health Protection Condition status are a level of 5 stratifications based on local health factors that we see. And Health Protection Condition Charlie basically indicates that there is a substantial threat of some kind of epidemic or pandemic disease to personnel. And usually the most easy or most lowest level, if you will, of HPCON would be 0 or normal ops. And then the most severe is when we have emergent or exigent circumstances. And so HPCON Charlie puts us right above that level and helps put us as a constant reminder of the seriousness of what's going on in the world today and here in Pima County.
Based off of that, we hear that the public health emergency is sometimes referenced with HPCON Charlie. Same thing, different thing? What's the difference between the two?
So they're different, sir. So the public health emergency is not necessarily reliant on the HPCON status. HPCON status, like I said, takes into account many local factors, what's going on with the disease rate, the transmission rate, how many cases are in town, what kind of medical supplies are available, and it kind of directs certain planning checklists to be executed. The public health emergency does factor that into account, but it also gives you, sir, lots of different legal powers, ranging from anything from collecting extra samples or specimens or testing of certain areas to restricting movement and anything that you would deem necessary to protect the mission of the base and the health of the personnel when deemed an emergent and exigent circumstance.
Okay. Earlier, I talked about our testing and our screening because there has been some concerns on social media about it. Can you talk about our processes or just let us know what the team is going through as you guys try and work through that?
Yes, sir, absolutely. So as most of us know, there is a national shortage of testing kits available. And throughout the DoD, there are 12 labs that have passed the initial certification to run the tests. At Davis-Monthan, we are not one of those 12 labs. However, we're incredibly excited that just this past Monday, we were able to secure a partnership with one of those 12 labs at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And so now we are able to collect some samples, ship them to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and we are able to get the results approximately 5 to 7 days later. In the past 4 days, since Monday the 23rd, we have collected 9 samples and sent them to Wright-Patterson for processing. This is a great capability that is recently developed, and it helps us augment our local partners such as the Pima County Health Department, as well as the local hospitals in town. We do apply the same criteria for use of that testing because of the limited resources that we have, and those criteria are found within the Centers for Disease Control guidelines and are used also by the Pima County Health Department. So we follow in lockstep with all of them, and we apply that same criteria to who we are testing, and we can only test those beneficiaries who are impaneled to the 355th Medical Group. So that may not actually include every one of the 45,000 people that come on the base. But if they are impaneled to the 355th Medical Group, we do have the ability to test them if they meet those criteria. And if those members who are impaneled to us are tested downtown, then we are also able to receive those results. But if they are not impaneled to us and they are tested downtown by their civilian PCM, we do not have automatic access to those results.
Okay. And other personnel that are on base are being seen downtown that are not impaneled with the Met Group. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I really appreciate the information today. Is there anything you'd like to pass along to Davis-Monthan and the team while you got them?
Yes, sir. It's our great pleasure to serve you, and we want to thank you for trusting us with your care. We understand this is a very concerning time, and we're doing everything we can to be transparent and helpful. Please call our COVID hotline cell at 228-1904 if you have questions or concerns. And really the bottom line, sir, is with HPCON Charlie, we should use that again as a significant reminder of the seriousness of the situation that we're in. And sir, we're not going to vaccinate our way out of this. We're not going to medicate our way out of this. The way we're going to flatten the curve and minimize transmission is through social distancing. And what we need to understand is that while many in the military are young and healthy, the fact is that we are actually the highest rate of carriers. And this translates through the United States as well as Pima County. So we know that the disease actually negatively impacts the health of the elderly more significantly than the young and healthy. But just because you're between 18 and 45 does not mean that you cannot carry the virus. And we have shown in Pima County that that is the largest number of carriers as well as across the nation. And in fact, we are also now seeing that roughly 20 to 30% of that age bracket of 18 to 45 are actually now being seriously affected in terms of health and require hospitalization. So please, whatever you can do to maximize your social distancing is absolutely crucial, because at the bottom line, sir, toilet paper does not kill coronavirus. 5 out of 5 dentists recommend that you brush and floss the teeth that you want to keep. And lastly, we want to thank you for trusting us with your care.
No, thanks. I really appreciate what Colonel Parsons has done, not just coming on the update today, but everything that he's done with the Med Group. This has not been an easy situation to work through. It's not been an easy problem set to figure out. But his leadership and the team over there is just doing phenomenal work. I really appreciate what the Honey Badgers are doing, and your leadership down there has been incredible. And I appreciate the points at the end. Very important for everybody to keep in mind. I do want to end with one final question, though. Chief Lyda has been using nefarious means to try and earn likes on his videos. I've been on social media. I've seen that you've liked a couple of his posts. So I have to ask you, when Chief Lyda bribed you, did you receive 1 or 2 rolls of toilet paper?
Ooh, sir, that's classified.
But you don't deny it, and I appreciate that.
I can neither confirm nor deny,
okay.
sir.
Well, hey, everybody, I will talk to you again tomorrow. Please keep each other in mind, take care of each other. If you see a Med Group Honey Badger, like I said yesterday, give them a virtual elbow or say thank you. They're doing some very difficult work over there, but it's all trying to take care of the team. That's all I got today. Rescue and attack.